right, welcome back. And we started the conversation about the Timeless album from over the weekend. And I like the introduction of the album, you know, talking about there's a time to mourn and there's a time to, of course, be out of mourning and be happy. There's a time for tears and there's a time for laughter.
Right.
And so Timeless is, you know, just him coming out after a tragic loss of his son and trying to be okay again. And I know that this is not the easiest thing for anyone.
No.
But we thank God that they're doing well, both him and his wife. So in an interview with CNN, the singer opened up on coping with his son's loss and how undeserving it was for him to have to deal with such a tragic situation. He added that the love and support showed by his fans and friends helped him get back to doing music. He stressed that after losing his son, he checked his phone after 3 weeks and saw messages from everyone, including, you know, presidents, sport people, like people all over the world.
Yeah.
And so that, I think, was very reassuring when you go through a loss like that. I can only imagine, you know, for anyone who's a parent, you know what this would feel like. And it's not something you even want to think about or imagine, you know. And they having to go through this and coming out again. I mean, I'm happy that they have found the strength, you know, to be able to still go through life. And I'm sure that in no time they will be able to have other children and maybe that will help with dealing with that entire situation. But yes, his album is here. Timeless is here. My favorite off that album is Unavailable. I'm not. Like, that is honestly my new response to a lot of people. Like, oh, Natalia, can you? I'm unavailable. I'm sorry.
Do you think that the songs were inspired within the period, or it was a project in the making?
Oh, he did say that most of the songs were already like there and done even before he lost his son.
Right.
But of course, he had to take his sweet time to mourn his son, and also maybe take a second look into, you know, everything, whether or not it was something that he wanted to release or some he wanted to take out and add on. Yeah, but most of
Even
it,
the title of the album.
maybe even the title, you know. So, but but this is something that he had to look into. So yes.
When that story broke, I was numb. I didn't know what to think.
In the beginning, it was just a rumor.
Yeah.
People said it was a lie. People said
Yeah.
it was true. And you know, they never made an official statement.
No, they never did.
They
I think
never
the
made
only
it.
time I was convinced was when I heard the news about the deleting of the pictures from social
Yeah,
media
yeah,
and all of that.
yeah.
And that has been mostly people's reaction to big changes in their lives. Big
Change.
negative change,
Change.
you know, in their lives. As depression, depression, death, and all of that. Breakup.
Remember when Genevieve deleted
Exactly,
everything off of her
yeah.
Instagram?
So
Yeah.
I was only convinced when I saw that news. I think I went to the account to see for myself too, and it was just himself, the little boy, and then the wife.
Yeah.
So that's when I actually started bringing myself into what is he thinking right now?
Yeah.
How is he feeling now? And
Yeah.
all of that. I'm not sure I got a real picture, but I just ended up saying a prayer
Oh,
in
yes.
my
Oh,
heart for
yes.
him.
Oh,
so,
yes.
so that,
Yes.
because he's talented.
Oh, yes.
I think he's one of the most hardworking
Yes.
and musicians. And when I look at him, I don't see just a rich man's son. I see a rich man's son trying to write his own story.
Yeah.
You know, and we don't see a lot of that in Africa. Most of the time in Africa, you find children of rich people relaxing. I don't see that. I don't know his story, but as far as this music thing is concerned, I see someone who is working hard. The guy even doesn't have a voice, vocal voice, structure again because he's singing keys that you wouldn't imagine he will sing. So I respect him, someone I really, really respect a lot. So I'm glad he is coming out. I don't think the grief period is totally over.
Oh, no, it's never over.
Right.
It's something you live with.
Yes, yes. But on the other side, one could also argue that his management took advantage of the PR opportunity this whole situation presented. Now, when he deleted those pictures off social media, by the time he announced again that he was coming back, he got an additional 1 million followers.
Yeah.
And that is management in a lot of ways. So it goes to say that the people he's working with are on top of their job.
Yeah.
His manager, Israel. So there's always something to learn from another person's situation. So, yeah.
We're happy for him. I'm happy for him. I'm just hoping that, they learn to live with this and cope.
Right.
And I know that in no time they'll have more children, but I'm just hoping that they learn to live with this,
If and it's my prayer that this album will do well.
Yeah.
If it does well, it will not be anywhere close to filling the gap the loss of the child has, caused them, but it will give them something to be grateful for, an additional thing to be grateful for, so
Yeah. All right. So we're moving on, and the Jay-Z AI verse has sparked concern from Young Guru, Ninth Wonder, and DJ Clark Kent. An AI-generated Jay-Z verse that has gone viral has sparked concern from Young Guru, Ninth Wonder, and DJ Clark Kent, with Guru calling for government to intervene. HOV's esteemed engineer shared the digitally generated vocals on his Instagram page on Friday, March 31, which sounds almost indistinguishable to the Rock Nation mogul. That was enough for Guru to sound the alarm bells for where AI is heading. And I quote, "I've been trying to tell everyone that this is where we are now with AI. For some reason, this one got everyone's attention. So what do? On one hand, I'm aware that you can't stop technology, but once the genie is out of the box, you can put him back in," Guru wrote. On the other hand, we have to protect the rights of the artists. Not only artists, but everyone in society. People should not be able to take your name, image, and likeness without permission. We have to add the voice to this law. He continued, "We have to learn from past mistakes. You would be a fool to chase every person that's going to do this. We learned that lesson with Napster. The only way I see to deal with it is to change the law. There's so many different opinions. We could change the United States law tomorrow, but the internet is worldwide. What time we live in." Ninth Wonder and DJ Clark Kent echoed Guru's sentiment with a comment section, with the former commenting, "My God," and the latter writing, "This is terrible." High-tech Peter Gruns, Peter Rosenberg, and others also expressed discomfort at the idea of AI technology cloning rappers' voices. So there we are. Now, let's just take a look at the video for that.
You tell the young never become what they aspire to. Born in a cell with no one who can inspire you.
Your highs are was never as high as those that lie to you.
Pretending that they live in the sky, lying behind your roof.
Shooting up at your ceiling, trying to find the proof, trying to fight the feeling, the truth.
Tied up like the noose they've been concealing.
Dipped in a diamond so that you find it appealing.
Time for dealing. Despite y'all dealing, we are the savages, the natives who fight the appeal of all your lavishes. The brave who find what is real and call it as it is.
And use a mind of wheel to escape the laws of averages.
To be rich and broke,
Could it be broke and rich? You see it all gets flipped by those who master this.
who give a whole new meaning to what you mastered.
saw that, and Young Guru is the man who is always recording Jay-Z,
Right.
and I think this feels threatening, very threatening for people in the creative space, not just for musicians, but for everybody, as a matter of fact. I'm a voiceover artist, and
Ajiwe Juma.
yeah, Jim made Juma, I won't say I say, and these days, you can actually, so now when any company or an individual wants to do any voice work, they can actually create the kind of voice they want with AI.
Right.
You can say, I want a female voice. So there are options. I want a female voice. I want a light baritone. I want this pitch. What's it called? What's the singing thing? The high pitch. I want this. I want this pitch soprano. I want this pitch bass. I want this and it creates that voice for you. And so that is the voice that will record everything you want, and that is technology.
Scary.
And it's a very scary place to be. What that means is that now you don't need to tell Natalia to do the job for you, because you can just go, and now there are apps that do that. You can just go on the app, pay a little token, do a selection of what you want, how you want the voice to sound like, and it'll give you that exact voice to do your work for you.
True. And so it started in the medical field with gene cloning. And we thought, oh, it was brilliant, it would be good for all of that. We were seeing it in movies, and we're so excited about it. I think we least expected that the creative arts sector or industry will be affected by this.
Right.
And the reason why it's become big all of a sudden is because of the person that has been cloned in here, Jay-Z.
Right.
Now, prior to Jay-Z, they cloned Tupac. And then they started a conversation. Just before Jay-Z, they cloned Biggie.
Right.
It also added to the conversation. People thought it was funny. But when they did that to Jay-Z, now Jay-Z is supposed to be the most protected person in the creative arts space over there. If anybody will have the best lawyers, it should be Jay-Z and all of that. And then all of a sudden, some machine somewhere just raps for him. I know
raps like him.
And this is the thing about it. It can tweak the words in the rap. If you want Natalia to be mentioned somewhere in the rap, you can actually tweak the settings to fit that. So it's a legal and an ethical issue.
Yeah.
This technology clearly has some advantages, some beautiful things that the creative arts sector can take advantage of, but barriers. How far can it go? Now, if it can happen to Jay-Z, don't forget, towards the 2016-2020 elections in Nigeria, in the United States, there were stories of deep fakes. We never really got it. That's where it started. Deep fakes, where you see a story about Donald Trump, but it's not him, and I think Donald Trump was one of the people who suffered under deep fakes, where they just put together some technologies and news items and then say, this person has done this, he's caused that. It makes the news believable, in Duhai, and I fear for the time it will reach here.
Yeah.
How I'm particularly interested in how it's going to affect elections outcome. But that's where it started. But I think the U.S. As a security country didn't really pay attention to it.
Right.
I think they were looking at it more like it's a sectorial problem. It's for them. They should deal with it. Somehow it has metamorphosed and is gradually becoming fluid, getting into every area. So it's a matter that needs to be looked at.
Right.
If we are not careful, and the next time you would wake up, your money will be cloned.
Oh, yes.
Your bank account will be cloned. You'll find your children cloned and all of that. It's a big issue.
It is.
It's a big issue. We may need a very rigid legal regime to control this, just like how we've done with some hard drugs in the past. We'll need to, the world actually, but of course, US mostly leads initiative like this, to sit down and then redraft the law. And Guru said something that you change the law, but technology will just keep moving.
Yeah.
You know, so it means that itself is another work for lawmakers. So if there is any group of people who will not be redundant in this whole AI revolution, it is lawmakers.
Yeah.
Because they constantly have to be
Yep.
making new laws
Yep.
to protect people,
Yeah.
their identity, their work. That is very important, you know. So we should look out for that. Don't forget what WAP Trick did some time ago. WAP Trick, WAP Dam, just allowed you to stream a music, download and all of that. Those are some of the beautiful things. But all those things phased out because of the legal issues
Yeah.
and all of that. So, and I think when it happens this way, I feel so scared for the African community because one, Afropop is the growing music genre right now. How do we make sure that the artists are not taking advantage? This whole revolution, Afropop artists are not taking advantage of. Imagine someone creating something that sounds like Camido's Sugarcane. I don't know how that will reflect on the listener.
Yeah.
You know, especially here in Africa.
Yeah.
I don't know how that will reflect on his streaming platform. That's the whole point. If I'm able to clone Jay-Z's song and I put it onto another platform, now I deprive people from listening to Jay-Z and coming to listen to the Jay-Z sound alike or
Yeah.
look alike. So
Yeah.
it's very important. We
Yeah.
need some strong laws to
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And speaking about Afropop or Afrobeat, the UK Home Office has denied dozens of Afrobeat artists visas. Now, Thames and Wizkid have not been refused entry, but The Voice says many others have been, and they are unwilling to speak publicly about it. Now, The Voice newspaper has reported that the UK Home Office has launched what has been described as the biggest attack on a black music genre by British authorities since dancehall in the 1990s. According to the publication, Afrobeat artists are now the subject of scrutiny as the Home Office has denied dozens of the genre stars visas to perform in Britain. The Voice report indicated that the publication had conducted an investigation investigation which found that the department had stopped at least 20 singers from entering the UK to perform at Afrobeat festivals. Now, singers and producers have warned that the hostile environment against the world's fastest growing music genre risks top names boycotting the UK. The reference to dancehall, which was drawn by The Voice, appears to be the 2000s, the 2010s. In 2012, for example, Sizzler Kalonji was banned from performing in the UK, while Beanie Man, Buju Banton, and Elephant Man were placed under investigation for lyrics that the authorities thought were inciting violence against homosexuals, amongst other related instances. Unlike the dancehall artists, however, The Voice notes that in the cases of Afrobeats, West African artists are treated with more suspicion despite being part of a multi-million-dollar industry. And when visas are granted to stars, their dancers have been turned down. Afrobeat stars fume that Britain is the hardest embassy in the world to deal with, and they are routinely given short stays of just 2 weeks, which prevents them from making the most of their visit, the publication said. In August last year, the Home Office was also rebuked for what some Britons described as hostility to iconic roots reggae band Black Uhuru after the group was forced to cancel their UK tour after the Home Office issued visas with unreasonable time limits. And so Ghanaian reggae musician and three-time Grammy nominee Rocky Dawuni also gave his views on the matter, noting that once Afrobeat musicians can prove they are credible and established in their own country, regulations should be eased and assistance fast-tracked for the artist's reputation. According to The Voice, Dawuni is also saying he was unsure whether or not there is a bigger plan to suppress African music and keep it at bay, and that it might be due to a misplaced policy. It is diminishing the music at a time when African music is on the rise. African music is breaking new boundaries, and African music is connecting with new audiences, he said. So there we have it, with Britain denying visas to Afrobeat artists. And there seemed to be some sort of agenda to stop the Afrobeat music from growing, you know, or attaining its entire height in Britain.
Maybe it's unfortunate, but I don't think that this is a clear agenda. I think, like Rocky suggested, it's just a policy, the excess of a policy that is fully implementing. Now, the current foreign minister for the UK and then her predecessor have launched, it started really with the previous, but last week they passed a bill in their parliament. And with this bill, it means that if you get into the UK, you seek asylum, you'll be automatically, so to say, shipped to Rwanda. If you're of black descent and then you find yourself somehow, you cross the UK or the English channels and then you get into the UK, they are automatically going to send you to Rwanda as to seek asylum there. And it is a bit of a contradiction, because this is the time when UK is saying that they need a lot of labor due to COVID-19. Yeah. But somehow people get into the country and then they are sending them into Rwanda. So in UK itself is a big debate. They are debating about it first because the person passing or suggesting the bill used to be an immigrant or is a product of an immigrant, an Indian, you know, together with the Prime Minister, you know, they are all immigrants. So how is it that you, an immigrant who should feel for us, is pushing for this bill? But you know, this thing about immigration, it's economical too. It's a security issue. It's a cultural thing. Now, this is where I may want to agree with this agenda thing. Every country wants to protect their interests. I would not want to import too much foreign culture to affect my demography. Now, music has a way of doing that.
Yeah.
If I import too much of a certain music, it's going to affect the way my people think.
Yeah.
So that is what I see happening, specifically with those examples
And
given.
it's also going to affect my music industry.
Yes,
and the people who make music in my country.
Exactly. So it's an interesting situation, because if there is any continent, any country that should really be pushing this now, it is African countries and Africans who for a long time in research have been examples of a society that has been brainwashed, affected by foreign culture. We've embraced hip-hop. We've embraced jazz. We've embraced soul music, so much that it's even tied into our indigenous sound, high life.
True.
You know, so it's an interesting situation, but I don't think clear-cut on the surface. We should all just agree that it is some agenda. We should also understand that the UK is a country on its own that is seeking to protect their own. Don't forget that we are also in very dangerous times. People come into your country with all kind of ideas under the pretext of all interesting ideas. but really are a threat to your security. People have been caught packaging weapons as instruments, musical instruments in history. So maybe the timing of the policy is what is causing us to think, or some to think in this direction, when Afrobeats is just getting that buzz globally. They decide to put a ban on our artists and all of that.
Yeah.
It's a conversation that needs to be had. But I think for any musician who wants to get outside of Ghana, like Rocky Dawuni has said, if you've traveled abroad, one of the questions they ask you is, you need to prove that you are going to come back.
Yeah.
You need to prove, and that could be in the form of a business, a family, even something as small as your Facebook account has a way of letting the potential person know, if I travel, if this person travels, we all call baby fear, and I said, you know, a short opportunity. So it's a broader conversation, but I think what any person, it's now a management thing. If you're if you're managing an artist and you are listening to this, or you've read this story, you need to work on your talent. You need to work to make sure they are credible when they present themselves at the embassy to perform. You need to prove that they are credible. Let's not rule out this. There are musicians who, after they made it, just relocated.
True.
We have cases like that, even here from Ghana.
Oh, yeah.
After the very first breakthrough music, we never heard from them again. I could mention names, but I won't. So those are all there. It's a broader conversation.
Yeah.
To some extent, there is some truth in the UK thing, the allegations against the UK government, but I don't think it is really deliberate, you know. And to some extent, the Africans are also to be held responsible in a way. You can't just think that because your song is heard in London, you present yourself at the British consulate and then they'll just let you through.
Yeah.
And that won't make a lot of sense.
Okay.
And you need to understand the times too. So it's unfortunate. I hope that we do something about it. They should just keep making more music.
Yeah.
What I know is at some point in time, when your music becomes overwhelmingly good, they give you the invitation to come.
Yeah.
You know, so let's just pray with them and let's all work together.
Right.
We can't blame anybody.
No, we can't.
Yeah.
No, we can't. All right. So, Dachi Mufasa says, good morning to the hottest team of producers and directors who make the show happen. Here's the new sun that shines. Thank you so much. We're going to go on a break. When we return, Sun Up feature is here. Remember our WhatsApp number 0503-951-006. That's 0503-951-006. My name is Natalia. This is Sun Up on Showbiz TV. Stay tuned. Ready, Kamba Media Foundation presents the Showbiz TV Easter Kids Party. Date is Saturday, April 8, 2023. Time is 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Venue is the Showbiz premises at Dogono, Nungwa. This party is our way of extending our support to the community we inhabit. Activities include rap competition, dance competition, and food competition. There will be loads of foods and drinks for free. This event is sponsored by Indomie and supported by Calipo, Soundmasters, Hustle Hard Music, Vena Water, Twist Cupcake, and Vigo Drink. Parents and guardians should make it a date to bring their children to this festive celebration. For enquiries or support, contact 0503-951-006. The Showbiz TV Easter Kids Party. Where would you be?
Sugar cane sweet, but your love is sweeter.
We promise you an exhilarating time span of delight on Afro Section. Your world's about to get rocked with the finest visual playlist of Afro hit songs across the continent.
We know we fun like me. We know we fresh like me. We know we hot like me.
Your satisfaction is a surefire thing So just loosen up and drift into an Avalon of multifarious Afro music on Shobiz TV.
I'm protected by Jah Almighty Father. Them can see we from afar.
I am your party giver, Kathy Brown.
Early in the morning, it's the dawn of a new day. New hopes, new dreams, new ways. Open up my heart and I'm gonna do my part and make this a positively beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Let's make this so wonderful. Let's make this so powerful. Let's make this a beautiful day.
All right, welcome back from that break. This is Sun Up on Showbiz TV. My name is Natalia, and I'm kicking it with D.A. Bengal in the studio. Now, on our feature today, we're talking about the movie, industry. And the question this morning is that, is there a market for local movie productions? Is there a market for local movie productions? Do you think there is? Yesterday we touched on James Gardner's reaction to Spike Lee, saying that he didn't know that there was a thriving movie industry in Ghana. And the fact that, that statement just got people feeling some type of way. Even though I didn't see that there was anything wrong with it, but that's just me though. So today we're asking about whether local movie productions have a market. Is there a market for them?
First of all, I thought James Gardner's response to...
Okay, so hold that thought. We have Kobe Rana on the line. Good morning, Kobe.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Very well, thank you. What about you?
I'm fine, thank you. We were looking forward to having you in the studio.
Likewise.
Hello?
Likewise.
Likewise, yeah. Anyway, let's just get into it. Do you think, Kobe, that there's a market for local movie productions?
Right. Before we move on, I heard you talking about things. So can you quickly take me through it?
You heard me talking about...
James. You said James.
Oh, James Gardner. So, I mean, over the weekend, he reacted to Spike Lee, making a statement that there isn't a thriving, he didn't know that there was a thriving movie industry in Ghana, and that caused a bit of a stir because a lot of people now started, there was a big of a back and forth, people agreeing and disagreeing to what the statement that Spike Lee made when he was here. So James said that, that statement was not a very wise statement to make.
Okay. I wanted to know what exactly so that I talk for my colleague if you. So we will get to that when it is my question. But for now, your question is if there's a thriving movie.
If there's a market for
is there a market
for local movie productions.
Oh, okay. So thank you for having me in the session. And secondly, the plan was that I come to the studio. So I'd like to use this opportunity to advertise to your host and guests, and audience as well, viewers as well, that we can make this easy. I definitely come in.
Hello, Kobe. Can you please project your voice a little bit more for us?
Okay.
Thank you.
Like I said, I would like to apologize that I am not in the studio
Right.
Yes, as planned. We intend to come to the studio in few days when we start our media tour for the Ramadan movie.
Right.
Inshallah. So back to the question.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm sure everybody sees the promotion over the years since the cassette culture moved to CD, and then it moved to digital, and then movie premieres as well.
Yeah.
So I'm sure everybody sees the movie premiere noises, promotion of movies.
Yeah.
For instance, the last one we did, the movie in sign language, till death do us part for the deaf community,
Right.
as well as the speaking community. The Valentine's Day movie, till death do us part. I am sure most people saw it. I'm sure most people have seen Samira and Jackie promoting their taste of sin
Yeah.
for Easter. I'm sure most people saw it. Yvonne also promotes protocol 2 for the same vow.
Yes.
I'm sure people see this.
Yes.
And when it comes to YouTube, now Kumawo is also making for YouTube, which is way bigger money than the previous asset.
Okay.
Yes. And Kumawo is also doing very well on YouTube, as well as some other producers in Accra who also have series and stuff on YouTube.
Right.
So it has come digital. And most people too who are fans of travel, I'm sure they watch our movies in the airline.
Yeah.
Yes. And there are some movies on Netflix, depending on your agent. There are some movies. Yeah, so if anybody thinks there is no there's no market for Ghana films, I think the person is pretending to be blind or just ignorant.
Right.
But it is clear that filmmakers are making films both on a one-on-one viewership in movie premieres at venues nationwide, which I do nationwide. Every Valentine's Day, 23rd April coming, the Ramadan movie that they all love. So it's like football. It's either the person is a fan or he's not.
Right.
And the real fans know that the movies are available.
Right.
And the movies are always showing. Yes.
Right. Okay. So I think your response is pretty clear. There is a market for local movie productions. Now,
Both in and out of Ghana, people are buying and watching our movies. People are
right.
buying our movies on online platforms worldwide.
Right. Now, Kobe, would you say that the Ghana movie industry is thriving?
Yes, it is. It is thriving big. But I've been here for the past 15 years and over, and it is never the same as it used to be. It keeps growing.
Right.
It keeps growing. Yes. In terms of quality, in terms of performance, it keeps growing. I mean, over the years, we've seen other foreign people come and collaborate with us on very good productions like Feast of Donation, and that's even to mention but one.
Yeah.
So the growth is there. I heard of the girls' trip part 2 that we are coming to shoot here. I mean, it's clear that it is better than it used to be.
It is better than it used to be, but there is clearly a lot of room for improvement.
Yes, there's room for improvement everywhere. I mean, nobody can match the standard of Hollywood.
Yeah.
If you're comparing Ghanaian films to Hollywood, you'll never appreciate your own.
Right.
Yes, because, I mean, there's room for everybody. There's room for improvement for everybody. If we get the same opportunities as they are getting, like I said, it's only those who pretend to be blind and the Ghanaian attitude of not standing up or supporting their own. That would make somebody act like he doesn't know their talent and creators in Ghana who only need more facility, financial and bigger distribution network.
Right. Right. Seeing as you mentioned talent, a few weeks ago, Michelle Arthur did say that it would be...
How is she? That's a talented woman.
Oh yeah, she's wonderful. She did say that it will be a whole lot better if the industry introduces new faces into filmmaking, because it looks as if we've had to deal with some faces for a very long period of time. You know, so much so that sometimes it makes it difficult because you're watching two different movies that makes it look like, or makes you feel as though you were watching the same movie.
Okay. And what exactly is the question, please?
So the question is, do you agree that that there should be, you know, introduction of new faces? And what has stopped, or what has been the difficulty in introducing new faces into the industry?
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so it comes back to the same response. It is the attitude of the viewers. I will not even use myself because, I mean, everybody who watches our film have seen new faces in every single production. Let me even just go to Ivan Kwashika. Ivan, from Strike to YOLO to Sewa to all the new productions. It is all new faces.
Right.
Let me move to Shelly. The rest. It is all new faces. 70%. My film, new faces. So, like I said, it is only those who pretend that they do not see what is going on who make statements like that. And we know that the real people who watch our films, who watch our series on TV and all, they see the new faces and they don't have any reason to complain like that.
Right. Would you say that maybe a couple of years ago it was easier for a lot of people to watch and appreciate some productions because, you know, you'd find them on TV on a constant basis. So, you know, okay, on Saturday night or on Friday night, I'm tuning in to watch this and we see what's happening and we appreciate it. These days, there aren't so many of those. These days, you'd have to maybe subscribe to certain things or go to certain places in order to get some of these things you talk about. So maybe, you know, the general public or the general view has been that there isn't so much happening. Would you say that could be one of the reasons why? Kobe, can you hear me?
Yes, the question is not, you say that people are complaining they don't have access?
No, I'm saying that back in the day or a couple of years ago, it was a lot easier to just tune into maybe a certain channel at a certain time because you know that a certain thing will be on. Okay? But these days, there are a lot of subscriptions and you have to subscribe to this or pay for a certain this before you're able to watch something. Right?
Okay.
So it makes it difficult for the people who can't do that to appreciate what's happening because they don't see it.
Okay. All right. So there are subscriptions everywhere. There's the Netflix that everybody is saying we should put our movies on. That is subscription. There is Apple TV. There is Peacock. In the Western world, there's Apple. There's this. There's that. Even online, those that you don't. Okay, you need to subscribe. There's YouTube that people are watching content. For instance, I have an online platform, an online cinema called www.thefirstcinema.com. Thefirstcinema.com. That's where you find most of our movies to watch. You subscribe, you pay by mobile money or credit card anywhere in the world.
Right.
Card, and then you watch. Thefirstcinema.com. So I think it is part of the technology.
Right.
It is part of the digital thing that has come to join the physical, the hard copy that we used to have. Yes, so I don't think that is a problem. And when they want to watch our content on the free TV, let's say like your platform,
Right.
I think it is not our fault. It is a free TV that you reach out to us to buy it for their viewers to watch for free. You cannot sell our movies to them for free.
Right.
If the people are demanding that they watch our movies on TV stations,
Right.
TV channels are free, the TV channels must follow us and buy our content for free. And buy our content so that they show it to them for free.
Right.
Or, better still, there are various channels worldwide who commission
Right.
producers to produce. They give the money to us producers to make the content for their audience so that the
Right.
audience gets what they want to watch. And Ghanaian TV stations, they are not doing that with us, and we cannot also give our content to them for free.
Right.
A channel like international channel like Afaba, DSTV Afaba, is doing very well. They
Right.
have commissioned producers to make various productions for them. So
Right.
if the audience are saying that they want free to air TV content, that you, for instance, Shobiz TV
Yeah.
and other channels, that's what you call that.
Right.
Like the way that it's doing with Nigeria and King of Boys, Lost Sisters and the rest. You call
Yeah.
that, take the money, shoot content that is good enough for our audience, and we will always do it. That's
Right.
why we are here.
Right. So, Kobe, tell me something. What is the government's role in helping to promote local productions? So I know there's the National Film Authority. How do they help people like you?
Please come again with a question.
I'm saying that what is the government's role in helping promote local productions?
Okay.
So I know there's the National Film Authority.
Okay.
How do these people help you? How do they help? How do you people connect? How do they help you?
Okay. With respect to my previous headline or my previous story with the National Film Authority, I personally would not like to answer this question.
Oh. Well, because I'm not privy to that, so that puts me in a very uncomfortable position.
Oh, no problem. I completely understand, but I am not interested in answering any questions of that sort.
Okay,
At the right time,
so maybe, Kobe, if we take the Film Authority aside, what is the government's role in helping promote local productions?
Well, like I told you, everybody knows what's happening with my movie, Freedom and Justice. And then the last movie project was part from South Sea recently. Yes, so I would not like to answer any question as far as that topic is concerned. I have every right to know. So if that may round it up, I would like to inform your loyal viewers that on the 23rd of April, we are bringing a new movie called Inshallah as part of the Ramadan series before we can show in every year. Inshallah is the 23rd of April at AMA office, not cinema. And it's also in Kumasi and SD Mall in 3rd and 24th. And then 1st May at Family. Then at the Inshallah movie. And my team and I, the actors and I have to marry myself because they don't go be there within the next few days to speak on your show. And maybe we'll have enough time to discuss.
Yes, absolutely. We look forward to having you here so we can talk about, Inshallah, which is coming on, April 23rd April. Okay, so in wrapping up, tell me, Kobe, how do we attract foreign investors? And also, how do we put the Ghana movie industry on the map?
Okay, how to put Ghana industry on the map, how to get foreign investors. I think number one, people like you, the media, and some filmmakers should stop putting it in the head of viewers that the film industry is this and that. It is making it distasteful. The fact that people will sit on their TV or radio channel and say, movie industry is this, movie industry is this. It is putting bad ideas into the head of investors, and it must stop now.
Right.
I think that's a good start. And you'll discuss the rest later.
Okay. Finally, I see that every year you're doing, you're premiering a movie that touches on the Muslim community. Is that? Do you do that deliberately?
Oh no. I realize that there's no production for that community.
Okay.
We have very, very loyal fans and viewers who are in the Zongo community, whether Hausa speaking, Tabani speaking, whether Muslims, whether Muslims, whether Southerners who are Muslims. I realize there are no movies for them.
Right.
So from 2016, we started with Salah, and then COVID-19. My name is Ramadan too. So after the COVID break, we have not done anything for the community. And then we
Right.
are back, inshallah,
Right.
in Hausa, other Ghanaian languages, and English. And it is an amazing storyline.
Right.
And so, amazing production. The trailer comes out today.
Right. So it is deliberate then. It means you're intentional about doing that because there isn't much for them, which is a very, very commendable. Congratulations. So what time do we look forward to the trailer?
Yes, the trailer is broken today. I wish I could have done exclusive on your show.
I know. I would have loved that. I would have really loved that. But
Well, maybe for what you think.
oh no, but that notwithstanding, I know you'll be here to promote the movie. So when you do come, we'll get really into it. We really will get into it. Thank you so much for joining us, Kobe.
Finally, I would also like to use this opportunity to say thank you to your media house, all the media that supported our previous production, which is Till Death Do Us Part.
Right.
The movie with sign language. I mean, the deaf community has been sidelined for so many years, and we are all happy you came to help.
Congratulations to you on that one. You're doing amazing. I see that you just look at the people who are lacking in terms of production and you provide something for them as well. And I must say that is very commendable, Kobe. Thank you for contributing to society. Now, with that, where can, if someone hasn't seen it yet, where can they see it?
Okay, my online platform, thefirstcinema.com.
Okay.
Thefirstcinema.com. It is just some small coins you come out from your mobile money,
Okay.
card or credit card anywhere in the world.
Okay.
It's like, I think it's like $5. Yeah.
Okay.
And then you can watch it. No, I don't think it's up to $5. I think in Ghana cities it's like 20 cities.
Okay.
Yeah, so the conversion will be like $2. Yes.
Okay.
And then you can watch any of our movies. Like you can even watch all the movies within 24 hours.
Okay. Okay.
This is the 24 hours subscription before you resubscribe.
Okay.
It's very easy. Go to www.thefirstcinema.com and see our old and current movies.
Okay. Now, Kobe, are you looking or are you working on putting some of your movies on Netflix?
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. Especially books like Freedom and Justice and To Just Do Us Part.
Okay.
Discussions are ongoing.
Okay. All right, Kobe. So I look forward to having you with me in the studio. And I can't wait either. I'm holding my breath. Definitely holding my breath for you. So thank you so much once again, and I will see you very, very soon.
Okay, sorry I couldn't answer all your questions.
It's okay. That's fine. When you come here, I will force it out of your throat.
All right.
All right. He says all the best in forcing my throat to Godspeed.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's spoken very well.
Yeah.
I don't think I've interviewed him a couple of times, but I see that he's grown in terms of clearly, if you've been in a certain business for a while and you've learned the ropes and you know the kinds of attacks that you get, you always know, especially if you're doing your very best, how to go about it. And I like the fact that, you know, he talks about the movie industry with this much passion, you know, and also because he's deliberate about doing production for certain people who seem to be lacking
marginalized.
Marginalized, you know, who seem to be lacking in that department. And I think that's very commendable. So I'm excited about that.
I always look forward to his Salah movies. Always, every year. And there are specific channels that have devoted to airing them. Even if they don't air the latest, you get to see that they air the previous for you to appreciate what he's doing.
Right.
So I like what he's doing. If I were in power, he's somebody I would want to support because his movies, his stories are thematic. And then the fact that he's focusing on inclusion. Inclusion is a huge subject globally. And to have somebody put out a whole production for a whole community, that for me is awesome. if like I said, if I had the support, I recommend him any day. And then if there's anything I would like to add to it, he has a strong movie, that Till Death Do Us Part. I believe corporate people can help him so he can, you know, float that movie onto Netflix or the streaming platforms. There is a market for the local movie industry. The system has just changed. It's either through premiering or through the streaming platform, where you go and then buy VCRs and VCDs. It's no more. Everybody owns a smartphone now. Or most people own smartphone now. So the whole point is making your movie accessible to them or through the internet, through a certain app. So it boils down to production and the quality of production. So movie people should look at standards. You know,
absolutely.
You can't have any movie at all going onto Netflix. At least Peter Sedufia's movie is on Netflix. How did he do it? Thankfully, we have someone who has an example.
There's also Gold Coast on there.
There's Gold Coast there. So we have to look at all of these things, and then because currently, potentially, there's 1.7 billion market in Africa. And currently we are just reaching like 3 million. And even that 3 million crowd, not everybody is fully activated there because of internet and because of structures. You know, so there's a future. And across the continent Africa, we just have 40% cinemas represented, 55 countries. Nigeria alone has how many millions of people in there, and we just have 40% of cinemas represented. Now that is bad for marketing. If you really want to market, it is really opportunity for corporate Ghana to look at this. Let's invest into the cinema theater. Remember the conversation we had a few weeks ago? Try to do more of the National Theatre, an upgraded version of National Theatre, multifaceted, so we could just do beyond, you know, showcasing cinemas.
All right. Thank you so much, Digol. Usually when we're about to wrap up, all the passion gets into, you know, his submission, but he's absolutely right. And I'm looking forward to Kobe Rana joining us in the studio. It will be really nice when he's here. I said I'll get it out of his throat. He said, good luck. So we'll see when that happens. Thank you for joining us. You are amazing. Tuning in to Sun Up on Showbiz TV every day. We really appreciate you. Remember that you can log on to showbiztv.com to get the scoop, to get everything you need. And also keep in mind that Cassie Brown is on standby with Afro Section, and that heat, you're not ready for it. But be ready, because it's coming very, very soon. My name is Natalia. Shouts going out to L Fittings. On the Spentex Road near Sakamono Junction for my outfit. Thank you so much. L Fittings GH, that's their handle on Instagram. So you can find them, and they will go through their collection, find whatever you want in your size, and they will deliver to you nationwide. Also, Glam by Aseye for my makeup. Thank you so much. She's on Instagram at Glam by Aseye. And to the entire team in-house, you guys are the real MVPs. We'll come your way again tomorrow between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. My name is Natalia. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Morning, it's the dawn of a new day, new hopes, new dreams, new ways. I open up my eyes and I open up my mind, and I wonder how life will surprise me today. Early in the morning, it's the dawn of a new day, new hopes.
Sugar cane sweet, but your love is sweeter.
We promise you an exhilarating time span of delight on Afro Section.
Strawberry